Okay, so this video I'm going to show you basically how to test fit a custom hood on a truck. The reasons you want to do this is because some hoods from factory are going to be warped, they're going to be misaligned, they're going to be too wide on one side or too narrow on the other. So you're going to have to basically put the hood on the actual truck that it goes to. Now you might get a hood, you might have 3 or 4 hoods that come in, and you would assume that each truck is exactly identical, and that's never the case. You always want to test fit each hood individually to the corresponding truck that you're going to install it on. Because what happens is, if you test fit all 4 hoods to one truck, there might be a slight variation in the distance of one fender to the other or a headlight, and you're going to grind it down or smooth it out or test fit it to one truck when the other ones are actually different measurements. So always test each hood per corresponding truck. Also, another thing, when you do a hood, you want to put the last 8 of the VIN somewhere on the hood, because if you have other hoods here, you'll mark it, work on it, paint it, and you don't know which one's which. So I usually put a sticker across the front here, and then I'll write the last 8 of the VIN on the tape here, or I'll put it underneath. There's a little opening right there. I'll put the piece of tape in that opening right there so it doesn't get damaged or moved or peeled off. So that way you don't confuse hoods if you have 3 or 4 hoods in stock. Now what I do is I get a Sharpie with the hood on the truck and aligned. I mark every little imperfection that I see. And it's better to do it on the truck because it's a little bit higher. You can see close up, and you're able to mark all the little imperfections. So right here, I put smooth out. It's just too rough here, and it's too sharp of an edge here. I want this edge to be more rounded, okay? If you look right there, you got a lot of pinholes. You're always gonna have pinholes on these edges, and you wanna fill each and every single one of those pinholes. You're going to have sand scratches also. The sand scratches need to be filled in because if it's a metallic paint, you're definitely going to be able to see those, and it's not going to look pretty. So, I just put scratch. I'll put pinholes. I'll put if I need to smooth out, if I need to round out. If you look at this, it looks too sharp. That's too sharp of a point. That's something I would fix. Okay. Check the back of the hood. Okay, like right here, you see those pinholes? Definitely fill those in with filler. Round this out. There's going to be sand scratches. You're going to have little holes or little imperfections that you got to fill in. Your pinholes right here. Okay. The other thing too is, especially on this front lip, sometimes these are wavy, okay? They don't look too wavy. So what you have to do is you have to eyeball it, and you have to look how it looks from this corner to that corner. And if it looks wavy, you got to get your long block with 180 and just block it with a long block so you smooth it out. But don't cut too much into it, because if you cut down too much, one side will be lower than the other. Another thing, sometimes these come a little bit sharp. They're not too rounded, so you might have to round these corners here a little bit, round them out. And almost 99% of the time, there's always an imperfection here. It's just really hard to see. Okay, like that right there. And that right there. You're gonna have to fill these in with glaze. Careful not to get Bondo on this metal right here, the metal mesh, because it's hard to sand those out. Okay. Also underneath here, this bottom lip. You want to check this bottom lip right there. Make sure that's smoothed out. Okay. So when you do a hood, you test fit it first. Turn this light off because it's pretty bright. Okay. When you do a hood, you test fit it first on the truck, mark it up, put the VIN number on a piece of tape, stick it to the hood so it doesn't come off. You can identify it later. On the hood, you're always going to paint the bottom first. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to show you the bottom and mark it up what all you need to fix.